Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Wednesday, the 11th of March, 2026, teases that Grayson is being pushed into a corner. The moment Jacob successfully infiltrates the plasma circle, everything begins to change. Trouble starts quietly at first, then it grows larger. Jacob receives a direct assignment. He must collect shipments from someone inside the hospital. The person responsible for handing over those shipments turns out to be Grayson. That is where the real mistake begins. At the beginning, Grayson does not think too deeply about the exchange. A box passed over, a quick glance, a few careful words. Then both men walk away. It looks normal on the surface. Yet later, when Grayson sits alone, the realization hits him suddenly, hard. Something is wrong. Very wrong. He starts to feel that he has stepped into something dangerous without noticing it earlier. The quiet delivery is no longer just a delivery. It is a connection, a dangerous one. Grayson begins replaying the moment again and again. In his mind, Jacob's behavior, the way he watched everything carefully, the calm voice, too calm. That kind of calm often hides something bigger. Grayson tries to convince himself he is overthinking it. Maybe Jacob is just another worker moving goods for money, maybe nothing more. But the doubt refuses to disappear. It sits in his chest like a stone, heavy. Then the phone call arrives. A number he does not recognize. Grayson hesitates before answering. Something inside him already knows this call will not bring anything good. When he finally picks up the phone, he hears Jacob's voice. Calm again, steady, too steady. Jacob does not waste time. He speaks clearly, directly. He says he knows exactly who Grayson is inside the plasma operation. The words land like a blow. Grayson tries to laugh it off. A weak reaction? He says Jacob must be mistaken. But the lie falls apart quickly. Jacob starts mentioning details, shipment schedules, hospital contact points, small things that only an insider would know. Silence follows, thick and uncomfortable. Grayson feels trapped, because the truth is obvious now. If Jacob's identity is exposed, then Grayson's identity will also be exposed. They are tied together, two pieces in the same dangerous puzzle. Jacob explains the situation carefully, not loudly, not angrily. He simply lays it out. If the operation collapses too soon, he can withdraw, he can disappear, he might survive. But Grayson cannot do the same. Grayson is part of the system, and the system does not forgive mistakes. The worst part for Grayson is not Jacob's pressure. It is the memory of the person who leads the plasma network. The man at the top has a reputation. Cold, ruthless, dangerous. Stories about him travel quietly among the lower members. People who became useless suddenly vanished. Some were found injured later, others were never seen again. Grayson has heard those stories many times. He never wanted to believe them completely, but now he does. Because now he understands how easily someone can become a liability inside this organization. If someone leaks information, if someone becomes suspicious, the punishment is brutal, sometimes permanent. Jacob continues speaking on the phone. His instructions are simple. Grayson must stay silent, completely silent. No questions, no panic. Just continue acting normally inside the organization. The investigation is already moving quietly in the background. If things explode too early, the entire operation could fail. Grayson listens, but his mind is racing. The situation feels impossible. If he refuses Jacob, then Jacob may simply leave. Jacob could walk away and remain safe. But Grayson would still be trapped inside the plasma network. The leader would eventually discover the infiltration. And when that happens, Grayson would be blamed. If he agrees with Jacob, then he becomes part of a dangerous secret. A secret that could explode at any time. Either way, the danger is everywhere. After the call ends, Grayson feels like the walls around him are closing in. His anxiety grows quickly. It shows on his face, even when he tries to hide it. His eyes move constantly. His shoulders tense. His thoughts jump from one fear to another. Ashley notices the change almost immediately. She has known Grayson long enough to recognize when something is wrong. She asks him gently what is bothering him. Grayson gives a weak explanation about work stress. Nothing serious, just pressure. Ashley does not fully believe it. She watches him carefully. Her concern is sincere. She tries to comfort him. She tells him things will get better. She tells him he does not need to carry everything alone. But her words do not help. Not really. Grayson appreciates the kindness, yet he feels even more uneasy, because Ashley is innocent in all of this. She does not understand the dangers surrounding him, and he cannot explain it to her. Later, another situation makes things worse. A meeting that was supposed to be simple, just a casual dinner. Naomi is there too. The atmosphere should feel relaxed. Normal conversation, some laughter. Instead, Grayson feels pressure growing inside him. Every time Naomi speaks, he remembers Jacob's voice on the phone, the demand for silence, the hidden threat behind those calm words. Naomi becomes something else in Grayson's mind during that dinner. Not just a friend sitting at the table. She becomes a connection, a weak point. Grayson begins noticing the small reactions between Naomi and Jacob whenever they appear in the same place. The way Jacob protects her, the way his attention shifts when she is nearby. Something deeper exists there. Grayson can sense it, and that realization begins planting a dangerous idea inside his thoughts. Meanwhile, the tension inside the plasma organization keeps rising. Leah continues monitoring operations around Grayson. She is known for her sharp instincts. She notices details others ignore. Recently, her behavior toward Grayson has changed slightly. Not openly suspicious, but different. She asks more questions about shipments. She studies his responses carefully. Leah does not accuse him directly. She rarely works that way. Instead, she watches, quietly, patiently, waiting for mistakes. Grayson feels the pressure from her attention every day. Each conversation feels like a test. Each report he gives feels like walking on thin ice. At night, the stress becomes even worse. Sleep refuses to come easily. Grayson lies awake staring at the ceiling, imagining every possible disaster. What if Leah already suspects something? What if Jacob's plan fails? What if the leader begins searching for traitors inside the organization? None of those scenarios end well for him. The fear slowly changes Grayson's thinking. It pushes him toward darker possibilities. One night, he begins considering something he never imagined before, a desperate idea. If Jacob is forcing him into this dangerous position, then maybe Jacob should also feel the same fear. Maybe the balance of power needs to change. That thought leads to Naomi again. At first, Grayson rejects the idea immediately. Kidnapping Naomi would be insane, completely reckless. Naomi has never done anything to deserve that kind of danger, but stress keeps twisting his mind. The idea keeps returning quietly. He tells himself he would never harm her. Not really. Maybe just hold her long enough to pressure Jacob, to force Jacob into revealing the truth. Even that thought sounds terrible. Yet desperation has a strange effect on people. When survival becomes uncertain, morality starts bending. Grayson thinks about his mother, the one person he truly cares about more than anything else. She is older now, fragile. She depends on him. If the plasma organization ever turns against him, his mother could also become a target. That fear terrifies him deeply. He has spent years keeping her far away from the dark parts of his life. But if everything collapses, she could be dragged into the consequences. That possibility pushes Grayson closer to the reckless idea forming in his mind. Jacob, on the other side, has his own weakness. Naomi, everyone who knows him understands it, even if no one talks about it openly. Naomi represents something pure in Jacob's life, something he refuses to lose. If anyone threatened her safety, Jacob would react immediately, without hesitation. And Grayson knows that. So the situation becomes more dangerous with every passing day. Grayson tries to act normal while fear grows inside him. Jacob continues his secret mission, hoping the plasma network can be destroyed before everything collapses. Leah keeps watching quietly. Ashley keeps worrying about Grayson without understanding the real reason. Naomi remains unaware that her name is slowly becoming the center of a dangerous conflict. The tension continues building, slowly, quietly, like a storm forming far away. If Grayson is pushed any further, he might finally lose control. He might decide that survival is more important than morality. And if that moment comes, Naomi could become the most dangerous piece in the entire situation, because Jacob will do anything to protect her. Anything. When that line is crossed, the conflict will no longer stay hidden. Everything could explode, suddenly, violently, and no one involved will walk away unchanged.